ETBU Extra, thank you for clicking in today at goetbtigers.com. Hello, I'm Mike Midgett, continuing to talk Tiger athletics on a Wednesday afternoon. We're on the first floor of the Ornella Student Center, broadcasting live as we look across the Huffman Student Activities area. We see students studying as they head into the final 2 weeks of the semester. We also see students just hanging out, being college kids, and enjoying the fellowship and friendship of their fellow students, as well as students eating lunch today here on a rainy day in East Texas. Time now to continue our program. I know I said Jared Hood was next. We're going to let Coach Jeff Bramlett squeeze in here because there are great things happening with Tiger. I'm getting my mouth all tied up this morning talking Tiger tennis. But Coach Bramlett, the big thing that's happening is both your men's and ladies team has qualified for the American Southwest Conference Tennis Championship. That is just an amazing feat. Of course, it's the first time the men have ever done it in 5 years. The girls have been there before, but just kind of explain and talk to our folks about what does that mean to Tiger tennis to make both teams in the conference tournament.
Yeah, that's really a historic moment. Last year, the women qualified for the first time in history. This year, the men qualified for the first time in history. So this is the first time that they've actually both qualified at the same time. You got to finish top four in the Eastern Conference. Everybody's got tennis this year, so they'll be taking 8 teams up there. So it'll be a full draw at the tournament with no buys in the draw. So that's a really a historic occasion to have both teams there.
So when you go to the conference tournament, it's kind of like a regular match against somebody, but you're in a bracket and you play it like a single match against a team, and then you advance on, right? It's not double elimination or anything like that. It's
right.
One and done.
One and done if you were to lose. So it's single elimination. So you have to continue winning to advance. And you know, the advantage of finishing second. I mean, obviously the only way you could have done better is to have won it. And the only with that second place finish, we'll be playing the third place finishers out of the West with both the men and the women. So we'll you know, theoretically should get a little better draw that way. And if we'd finished first, would have been playing the fourth place finisher.
And for the men, they'll be traveling to Richardson, UT Dallas, hosting because they are the top spot over there in the West Division. And your first opponent for the men is Concordia, as you'll face them beginning tomorrow. Let's go back and talk about the matches that kind of set this thing up. Friday, you had a 9-0 win on Senior Day over University of Ozarks, and then Saturday against LeTourneau 7-2. Kind of recap the weekend for Tiger tennis on the men's side.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big deal. We've never beaten Ozarks. We've never beaten LeTourneau. It came down to those 2 matches last year in order for us to qualify for the conference tournament. And you know, we just fell behind 3-0 in the doubles against LeTourneau. We almost climbed back into it and lost 6-3. Ozarks was a real tough match. It just killed me. I couldn't be there. I was at a funeral that weekend, and I was on the telephone constantly with them. And the match went back and forth. They had a lot of close matches in the doubles. I think it was 2-1 after the doubles. Had several 3-setters. Ended up losing that thing 6-3 and just narrowly missed making the conference tournament. So it's really quite a remarkable turnaround to beat Ozarks 9-0 in that match. They're top 2 singles players, and their number 1 doubles. They're really strong. So that was a good win for Tyler and Cody at the number 1 doubles, and then for Tyler and Connor at the number 1 and 2 singles, and just everybody else took care of business there in the Ozarks. And LeTourneau, that was a quite a bit tougher match. And LeTourneau, I mean, they are solid just all the way up and down the lineup. That was one that we had the rain delay match in, so we got about a third of the way through the doubles, and then we had to come back and resume play. And I know that with Tyler and Cody, we had a break point against us right there with Cody serving at 30-40. It was immediately a break point down. We were able to get that thing back to deuce. We were up 4-1 at 2 doubles with Dylan and Ryan. I'm trying to think. I think we were down 3-2 at number 3 doubles. So I mean, we had to start off just instantly in those, and they went back and forth. One doubles, we just got in a hole, and we couldn't quite dig out of that, and we ended up losing the one doubles. Thank goodness Ryan and Dylan, they took care of business and just played lights out and just dominated at the 2 doubles, and I was able to keep my focus on the 3 doubles, and it went just back and forth. At one point, it looked like we were going to be able to serve for it with Connor's serve, and I think we were up 45 to get a break, and we ended up losing that game. And then ended up being 6-all, and then they were serving at 6-7 against us, and we were down 45. Ended up having to overrule a call in that match, but we kept our composure, and they came back, got it back to deuce, and Rollin and Connor just played great to get the break, and that was probably honestly the biggest match of the day right there. It gave us a 2-1 lead in the doubles. But Tyler took care of business at the 1. Ryan Pierce took care of business at 5 singles, 1 straight sets. Everything else just went back and forth. Connor closed out the match at 2 singles, 5-5, and that was a very, very tight match. He wasn't feeling good. He was having difficulty breathing on the court. Dylan lost the first set and came back and won the match. Maybe hit the shot of the tournament. Hit a tweener. I don't know if you know what a tweener is.
Tell me what a tweener is.
A tweener is where the ball goes over your head, and then really right before you run into the fence, you take the shot between your legs and hit it reverse. I mean, the closest thing I could compare it to maybe in soccer is like a bicycle kick or something, but you're going between your legs and sending it back the opposite way, and you hit it for a winner. And
wow.
The crowd just went crazy, and of course it fired him up. He came back and ended up winning that thing straight sets after that, and then Cody split sets. He won the first set, dropped the second set, and he came back and won the third set, and that really just fired up the team. Those 2 guys coming back and fighting and battling, and we ended up winning that thing 7-2. But it was much closer than the match showed. But they just refused to lose. They really did. Showed a tremendous character out there. I was quite proud of them.
So with the match wins against Ozarks and LeTourneau last weekend, the Tiger tennis men's side makes the ASC tournament, postseason tournament, for the first time in 5 years. Of course, we rebirthed Tiger tennis 5 years ago, so congratulations to them as they will be facing Concordia beginning tomorrow in Richardson as the number 2 seed from the American Southwest Conference East Division. Concordia is the 3 seed from the West. Now, let's change hats and talk about Lady Tiger tennis. They, of course, had a great weekend as well, finished 3-1 in conference play, which now makes them the number 2 seed, and they travel over to UT Tyler, the host school this year, for the conference tournament, and they will face University of Mary Hardin Baylor, number 3 from the West, as the American Southwest Conference Lady Tennis Tournament gets underway. Talk about the weekend ahead. Actually begins tomorrow for your Lady Tiger tennis team.
Yeah, it's nice in that they have the 2 tournaments separated this year. So
how are you going to be in 2 places at one time?
Well, I don't have to because the men don't play till next week. So
is it next week?
Next week, yeah. So they'll start next Thursday in Dallas, and so the women, we leave this afternoon for Tyler, and we start early tomorrow morning. If it rains, I think they're moving the matches to Ennis, to the indoor courts. So we may get to Tyler and then take off and start driving to Ennis, Texas. So we'll who knows with this weather, but. So now I don't have to be at 2 places.
Okay, I thought they were both starting this weekend.
Yeah, and in years past, that's how they used to do it. So thank goodness they don't have to do that. I'm always torn when I got 2 matches going on simultaneously, and maybe you won't have to be coaching all day. As those matches start at 8 in the morning, you're literally coaching until 8 o'clock at night with no lunch break whenever the matches are back to back to back like that. So the women will start at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and as you're saying, they finished second, almost finished first. Lost 5-4 to UT Tyler, and played Ozarks. They beat them last year, I think 9-0. The year before that, they beat them in a close match, 5-4 for the first time, and then had another 9-0 match. I didn't realize that a lot of the matches were close and very competitive. I was just literally on the boys' courts the whole time, so I didn't watch any of the girls play. But the coach called me up and said, "Hey, Coach Bramlett, did you realize we did not win a single game against y'all?" I had no idea that the girls did not drop a single solitary game to Ozarks this year, so that made it a little different than last year's match. So it didn't feel like it, but that's about as dominating as you can be, is not drop a game. And then LeTourneau, I think they dropped a couple games, but it was a 9-0 score. And last year was the first year we ever beat them. It was 8-1, but this year was a 9-0 score. So it was a good tune-up for our women's team, going into the conference tournament. So hopefully we can maintain that. We know we got to play our best tennis of the year. If we're ever going to peak, this is the time. This is the time of the year to peak. We got Mary Hardin Baylor that we beat 9-0 earlier. We beat Hardin Simmons. That's who we'd have to play the second round. We beat them 8-1, but honestly, we had match points against us at two girls doubles, and we had, I think, 3 or 4 split set matches in the girls singles. So that's going to be a very, very tough match before we can even look ahead to potentially playing UT Tyler.
Well, with the American Southwest Conference Women's Championship tennis tournament beginning this weekend at UT Tyler, the host, if you have to move it to indoor courts at Ennis, how much does that change the game of your players? Some may have never played indoors before.
Yeah, I mean, it can really change it because usually it's faster tennis. The balls slide a little bit more. I mean, you got to have a quicker racket preparation. You got to have better net play. Typically in doubles, you just want to take everything out of the air and get to the net. Sometimes it's harder to see the ball. It just depends on the lighting there. You get the
What's
echo.
in the background.
Yeah, whatever's in the background, that sort of thing, the noise level. So it changes it quite a bit. The dynamics of the match change quite a bit. If they only have 4 courts, then your 5 and 6 people that are going on the courts, they're going to have to wait for a while instead of just getting everybody on the court at the same time. So that changes a little bit of your strategy on the dynamics of the match, and then plus you have the travel time and sitting around and that sort of thing. So that can weigh on you as well.
So a strong mental game is very important if the site has to change.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to be mentally tough, and you just got to be ready to kind of roll with it. No pun intended.
Well, Coach, anything you want to say before we let you go here on a Wednesday afternoon?
Oh, nothing really other than go Tigers, and we appreciate the support, appreciate everybody coming out for the matches this past week.
All right, Coach, best of the Tigers as you head to the American Southwest Conference Championship Tournament, both the ladies and the men this year. Of course, all the results will be at goetbtigers.com.
All right,
Don't go away. We'll continue to talk more Tiger sports on ETB Extra.